Do you want to know when it becomes wrong or illegal to take an image? Then this video is rightly for you. Stick around, let's figure this out. Hello and welcome to this channel. On this channel, we take the big Hollywood ideas and we transpose them into smaller ideas so that you, the African filmmaker or the indie filmmaker across any part of the world, can implement in your works. Today, we are talking about when it's right or at which point in time it becomes illegal for you to take an image. This in recent times have become a major concern to authorities or even to every individual because photography has become so ubiquitous, mainly because of the invention of the smartphone. Because let's face it, even you watching me right now, you probably have a smartphone in your pocket, or you are probably watching me on a smartphone. And these smartphones these days are equipped with very high quality cameras, and so most of us have become so much used to our smartphones and we like to take pictures anywhere we go, probably in the park or public places or private places. And trust me, we might be infringing upon the law and we might find ourselves in prison for so many years. Now guys, before we get into the main content of the video, I want to quickly issue a disclaimer that I am not a lawyer, or neither am I trying to claim any superiority as a lawyer or any superior knowledge over the law. Now, with that as a background, let's get straight into the content of the video. It's totally legal to take an image. But of course, there are caveats to this. To get to understand these caveats or to get to understand the limitations to this particular law or to which extent you can go, let's divide this whole session into two, which will be commercial use and non-commercial use. Now, commercial use and non-commercial use, these are the two terms we are going to be working with. Right away, let's delve into defining both of our terms. Now, the term commercial here refers to taking or using images for business purposes. Business here constitutes selling or making monetary gains out of a photograph. This might also constitute using images for business promotions. For example, you take images to put on, let's say, a billboard, or maybe you take images you sell to a company, or you take images you put it onto a stock site to sell and all that. In this regard, regardless of whether you use a smartphone camera or you use an actual DSLR or mirrorless camera to shoot a video or to take a picture, once you make some level of money from it, or if you exchange it for cash or any form of monetary value, then we can classify that under commercial use of a photograph, or we can classify that as commercial use. Now, what is non-commercial use? Obviously, non-commercial use here refers to taking images without making any money from it, or without using it for any monetary gains, or without attaining or getting any monetary value from taking the pictures. This takes us to what constitutes non-commercial. Things like taking pictures for fun, taking pictures for recreational purposes, all this would fall under non-commercial use of photographs or non-commercial taking of photographs. And generally, whether it's commercial or non-commercial, you certainly would need some level of certification in order to be able to take images or videos of private apartments. Now guys, pay attention here. This is so important. Now, what happens is that you can take images in public places, all right? But again, this isn't absolute. So you could just be at a particular public place, you take out your phone and you take a selfie, and that could be 100% legal, or you just point your camera and you shoot, that can be 100% legal to be able to do that. However, again, let's define what constitutes public. Now, public spaces here would include recreational parks, maybe football pitches, or any other place that is actually meant for public use. And so when you are in this particular area, you are free to take images. However, like I said, this isn't also again absolute, because you would think that because you are free to take images at a particular place, you can just take out your phone or take out your camera and just take an image of a random person, or just take an image of a person going by. Now, if the person is within the radius of what is defined as the public space, then technically you would be right. However, morally, that might not be right. And so the person might approach you to delete the image, or format your card in that regard. So in this sense, legally you might be right, but morally you are wrong. You see, we have something called manners. Now, manners in law, it's not mandatory, but having it's very crucial or can be very beneficial to you. And so if somebody walks up to you and says, delete that image of me, or I don't want to appear in your image, then kindly respect the rights of that particular person. Like I said, this can legally be right because the person is within the jurisdiction of the public space. But however, just because of manners and just because you want to save yourself a lot of trouble and hassle and all that, please just comply. So if you ever take a picture within a public site and the person asks you to delete his or her image, please kindly comply and do so. Most of these things we are saying here is universal to a lot of countries, but there are certain countries that are very exceptional to this rule, especially countries like Canada. Technically, in Canada, most of the citizens don't have right to privacy. However, it's a different case altogether when you come to the West African country of Ghana. Now, the laws of Ghana here allows you to be able to take the pictures, and even within the private circles where you need permission in order to be able to take a picture of a private person or a private property or a private apartment, there is an exception to that particular part within Ghana. Now, you can still go there and take an image or record a video without the permission of the person. And I know this is technical here, and most of you are quickly going to ask, where does investigative journalism fall? And that is why I am trying to bring in this point that although you respect the rights of the people by not going to their houses or by not tracing them privately and taking images or recording them without their permission, again, this same law within Ghana here allows you to be able to take a picture of someone or to be able to record someone without the permission of the person, only if that image or video that is being taken is in the public interest. And that is where it becomes now technical, and all those other ones are now left for the courts to decide on that. Now, as to what constitutes in the public interest, that is the sole responsibility of the court to be able to decide that. And so that is why I usually say, if you are not sure of yourself, if you are not sure of the environment where you are, don't take pictures of private individuals or don't take pictures of private property without permission, regardless of if it's for recreational purposes or whether it's for commercial purposes. No matter the situation, you always need permission in order to be able to take images of private people or private property. Now guys, I recently received a question from someone who was trying to just be smart with the whole law. The person asked that, how about if you are in a public space and from there, which is legal to shoot, you station yourself at that particular place and you zoom into a private property and you take a picture of it. Now guys, this is very ridiculous, and if this ever happens in real life, or if this even ever happens, or if you're trying on doing this kind of thing by just trying the law, then I think you'll be doing this at your own peril, because at the end of the day, it's about being able to prove it in the court of law. And like I said, within Ghana or within most jurisdictions, the only entity that has a right to be able to do this is the judiciary. And the judiciary consists of the various courts, which is the High Court, the Supreme Court, and all those other courts that are available within our country, Ghana, or within any other jurisdiction that you are. All right, guys, that is it for today's episode. So the next time you take out your phone or the next time you take out your camera to take an image, just ask yourself what you are using the image for, or what you are shooting at that particular point. Is it privately owned or publicly owned? If it's publicly owned, you might be able to get away with it. But if it's a private property or it's a private individual you are trying to film, always make sure that you have permission of the particular person before you take a picture of the person. Again, like I said, just even when you are taking a selfie in a particular area, probably if it's in a private area or a private apartment or a private property, and that particular property appears or the person appears in the image, guys, you can be sued for that, and that can land you in heavy fines or probably even going to prison. So let's be wise, let's be courteous, and know when to take images and when not to take images. It's been me, OBL Jr. here on the African Amaze channel. If you're new to this channel, we have much more awesome content here, and I will entreat you to click on the subscribe button and also click on the notification icon so that you get notified anytime we drop a new video on this particular channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at OBL_Jr. DM me with your questions and I will gladly respond to your messages. This episode was kindly supported by Pave Ghana, and like we do it on this channel as always, keep practicing filmmaking. Peace out.